Welcome back to the channel, and in this episode we're going to be talking about staying in a bubble. So what do I mean by staying in a bubble? What I mean is when we as people just stay within our own comfort zone and we only stick to the things that we are familiar with and that we feel we're safe in. One of the advantages of staying in a bubble is that we feel that we're really safe and we feel that nothing can go wrong because we're already familiar with a lot of stuff which goes on within the bubble. But a lot of learning and a lot of life's experiences comes from going outside of your comfort zone. Some people even say that your growth zone is just outside of your comfort zone. One of the bubbles which I struggle while being in is reading for self-improvement. This book is nonfiction. Start with Why is nonfiction. How to Win Friends and Influence People, nonfiction. This is The Art of Seduction, nonfiction. This is The 48 Rules of Power, nonfiction. This book by Robert Schuller, nonfiction. This book, nonfiction. This book, I haven't read that one. It's probably nonfiction. How to Be Rich, that's nonfiction. Brave New World, that's fiction. Sophie's World, that's fiction as well. I think both of those are. Think and Grow Rich, that's nonfiction. Nonfiction. And Sapiens, the glorified Sapiens, that's also nonfiction. So as you could tell with the books behind me or above me, I have this relationship with nonfiction as the only way to build on my self-improvement. But a realization dawned on me, and it was from a book which I didn't expect. It was from George Orwell's very famous book, 1984. And in this book, it was a work of fiction, but it wasn't useless. And that basically sums up my opinion of fiction books before I actually got into or was opening my mind to reading fiction. My opinion was just that any fiction book is useless. It's just as useless as Netflix. It's just as useless as playing video games when it comes to self-improvement. Getting out of this bubble, I realized two things. First, nonfiction isn't the only way to tell a useful story. Second, overindulgence in nonfiction, just for reading's sake, is actually just as bad as watching Netflix or playing video games. The reason for that is because the purpose of learning is for application. So if you just keep taking in information from all of these nonfiction books, but you don't actually apply the principles in your own life, then it's actually of no use to you. And in the exact same way, if you read a fiction book, or you watch a Netflix show, or you play a video game, and it causes you to change your perspective and actually act in your life, then that would have been more useful for you than your nonfiction books. There's a quote that goes, "One cannot learn when one already believes he's a master." So that just goes to mean that when we believe that we're already knowledgeable about a certain thing, then we already close ourselves off to learning from that thing or from that medium. Meaning that if that medium has something to offer us, we already closed ourselves off to those learnings because of our opinion. One of the most important things for learning is self-awareness. There's a difference between knowing from experience and knowing from your opinion. So as someone who's been scouring nonfiction books and all of the productivity videos on YouTube in the pursuit of self-improvement, my recommendation for you is think about it and try it out for yourself. Realistically, all of us live a different life, and none of us have the ability to experience life through other people's shoes. We do have the ability to empathize and sympathize, but that isn't exactly the same as being the exact same person. What works for me might not work for you, and that goes the same for everyone else. So if reading nonfiction books are slightly helpful for me, but tremendously helpful for you, then go for it. If you can't find the time to read, but you still want to listen to books, then go for audiobooks. Maybe you can still learn through that experience. Or maybe books just aren't your style and you just learn most from trying it out and following guided courses like on YouTube or Skillshare. So every opportunity for learning is available for the person who seeks them out. All in all, it really becomes a question on what exactly and who exactly do we want to be and how we spend our time to get to that goal. A friend once said, goals without a plan are just dreams. And I think a lot of us can relate to this. So many people want to be rich and blame the rich for having it easy, despite not looking at what the rich went through to become rich. And neither do they care about the effort that it takes to stay rich as well. I'm not talking about entitled white boys who are spending all of daddy's money, but I'm talking about people who actually worked hard to get where they are. I think a lot of the time we underplay how difficult the journey has been for most of those people who've become rich. The reality of the situation is all of us wish to be rich. And all of us have that dream of going to the beach and sipping mimosas being served by waiters or something. But people don't want to spend the time to get there. Spending the time to get there means 20 hours a week, 7 days a week, for 10 years or longer. And that's exactly what Jeff Bezos did, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. A lot of these people had their advantages, but they also put in the time. And if there's something that you can see, that most people that do put in the time eventually do get somewhere with the right opportunities. I genuinely believe that anyone, even in one lifetime, can actually become a world-renowned multi-millionaire. But I think a serious question that we all need to ask ourselves is whether or not we're willing to put in the time and the sacrifices required to be a person of that caliber. Think about that for a good minute. So thank you for watching this video. I know that it's a bit different from the usual setup, but I don't have my camera and laptop. So we're just on the phone right now. I hope that you still enjoy this video, and if you enjoy things or videos more like this where it's just on the phone, a little bit more casual, then leave a comment down below. But that's it for now. Like the video if you found it useful, and subscribe for more. Thank you, and bye bye now.